Just in case they ain't get the picture the first time around.
I see you, hater. My motivator. Y'all make me greater. Yeah.
I'm out here junkyard hunting, looking for a sunroof for the box Chevy now. Most likely I'm gonna take it out of Monte Carlo or Impala 2000 and up. Let me see what I can find. I'm gonna cut you back on. At the Monte Carlo section. Got one here, 2006, look like. Might go with this one here. See what else we got out here. Got some more 07s and 06s, but none of them got a sunroof in them. Got a 07 here with a sunroof. No, I might go with this one here. I got the roof out. You want to make sure you get the drain lines. These, the front two. The back was hard to get out, so I'm going to go over there to another Impala and get two more fronts. You also want to make sure you get the switch and the wiring. I got 4 pilot holes drilled for my sawzall to go ahead and cut the frame out. You want to get the frame too. Got the frame cut out. This is what you're gonna need. I got the sunroof back home. I'm gonna show you everything you're gonna need when you out here trying to get these sunroofs. First, you're gonna need these drain lines. Gotta make sure you get these here. You're gonna need 4 of them. It's got 2 in the front, 2 in the back. You're gonna need the wiring, the switch. I got the trim for the sunshade. And this here is part of the headliner. I just cut out part of it because I might gotta fabricate the old headliner in with the new. Not sure right now. I just grabbed it just in case. But I'm finna go ahead and hook up some jumper cables just to see how this here gonna work. Wait 1 second. I just got the wiring running to my battery. You can use a jump box if you want to. Let me show you on the wiring. You got 3 wires, the black, the yellow, and the red. The ground and the red with a hot and the accessory. Then you got the switch. This here ain't nothing but a 2-function sunroof top slide. Got the vent. Push it again, it'll slide over the top. Then you close it. I'm finna go ahead and remove the track and the glass so I can turn this over and start prepping it up to start installing it. I got the sunroof and the track removed from the frame. You got 4 bolts holding it. Here, 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 and here. And here's the frame. I should have left more lip on this frame than I did. Just like this side here, fine. Because I'm just gonna have to cut this part here out. But this end here, I don't have a lip. I have to either cut this off some or slide it up under it. And I'm just gonna slide it because I don't want to cut it. I want to keep it as strong as possible. But this side here fine too. I'm just gonna have to cut this so it'll be able to sit down once I cut the opening out in the box Chevy. Sit down on top of it. But this side here, I should have left the lip out here so I won't have to try to slide it up under here. Or I can cut it, but I'm just gonna slide it. Let me go ahead and cut this here. I'm gonna cut it with a cutoff wheel. Now you see what I'm talking about. I got a lip now. I can sit it down. Once I cut the roof out in the box Chevy, I have something to sit it on. But now, I'm finna clean these edges up. I'm just gonna make me a straight line around here. Then I'm just gonna cut it out with some snips. That marker and just drew a straight line. Trying to clean up my edge. Make it kind of straight. Then I got my snips. As you can see, I done started cutting this. I'm just gonna cut it out along the red line. I got my metal trimmed up around the edges. Once you get that done, you're gonna need to get you some cardboard. I couldn't find a big enough piece, so I'm gonna use this. I open it up. I just tape this end up. But your piece gonna be, you just wanna sit it down on the cardboard and just trace out the outer edge. Go ahead and trace that out. Once you get your outer edge traced out, go ahead and trace the inner out. Okay, I got it traced out, and I got this marked bottom because this is going to be the bottom side. So now what you want to do, you want to go ahead and cut this opening out. That's where the glass is going to be at. You're just going to cut it out just so you can kind of know where the glass is going to be at, and you can also measure center by the glass. This is the opening for the glass. Remember, this frame gonna sit inside the existing roof, the part that we're gonna cut out, and that's what we're measuring for, the cutout, the hole. On the frame, I don't have too much room to play with over here. I got about 3/4 of an inch, so I'm gonna cut it out all the way around. I'm gonna come in 3/4 of an inch on this frame. So I'm finna mark it 3/4 of an inch all the way around. Then I'm gonna draw my line, and that's gonna be the cutout for the existing roof. See, I got my lines 3/4 of an inch inside my original line, my outer edge. Now I'm finna connect all the lines so I can cut that out. Okay, I got it all connected. You can see what I'm going for now. Now I'm finna cut this out all the way around. Ain't nobody measurements gonna be the same, so your measurements gonna be different from mine, and mine's gonna be different from yours. I'm just trying to give you an idea of how to get it set up for the opening. Okay, I got it cut out. Take it over here to the frame. See what I was going for? This is just the template, what I'm going to use to measure the existing roof so I can know where to cut at. The existing roof going to be cut along this here once I measure and get it centered. That's the reason why I cut this out, so I can know where the glass at. I can center the glass with the center of the car. But you want to make sure you mark the front and the back. Well, you ain't got to mark the back as long as you mark the front. This is going to be the front of the car. So this is the front of the frame. You don't want to get it twisted and put the back, you know, then you'll be messed up. But let me pull the car up here, then we're going to get started cutting it out. I got the box Chevy pulled back in the booth. Now you probably see why I didn't prime this part here when I was priming the rest of the car, because I was going to put a sunroof in it. But what you want to do, you want to find your center mark. So you're going to measure from this end, from the other end, and find the center. Then you're going to mark the center and run your piece of tape from the front to the rear of it. I ran me a piece of masking tape from my center, from the front to the back, and the center line was like 25.5 inches because it was 51 inches from this end to the other end. You can also go by your rearview mirror where it's positioned at. It's usually centered. But I ran it all the way to the back, and it was the same distance. But you can also go by, find a center line on your vehicle like this here. It's the center. So I got my roof centered. I also got my template centered. And it was 33. The opening was 33 inches, so 16.5 is half of that. So I marked 16.5 on the front and the back. Put a piece of masking tape. So you take your template, then you just match it up with the masking tape you got up here, and it'll be centered. I think I'm gonna go back about 8 to 9 inches from the front. You got to take in consideration for the sun visor. So once you get it centered, you want to get your magic marker, permanent marker, and just trace out the outer edge. Once you get your outline trace, this is the land you're going to be cutting out. And you're going to be cutting it out with a jigsaw. Make sure you get some metal cutting blades. And you're going to need a drill with a metal cutting drill bit. Drill your 4 pilot holes in each corner. Got it cut out. Show you what it looked like. I just put these paint stirrers here to keep it from falling when I was cutting it. Now it's time to test the frame. The frame is in the opening. Turned out real good. Got it centered. The next step is getting my permanent marker again. I'm just going to trace around the outer edge again. That's just so I can know where to grind. I'm going to grind this down to bare metal. I'm also going to grind this down to bare metal. And I'm going to be using a grinder with a flap disc on it. This 60 grit flap disc. As you can see, I got my line drawn out with the permanent marker. I'm just going to grind around about a little bit past the line. Then I'm going to grind this down to somewhere up in here. So I can have bare metal, be able to weld it to the existing roof. Outer edge, grind it down. Now I'm finna set my frame back into my opening. Then I'll be ready to weld it up. Everything's lined it up, ready to be welded. Once you get through welding the frame into the opening, you want to grind the welds down. I use the flap disc. I also use the DA with some 60 grit on it. You just want to grind the welds down and get it pretty smooth. And then we're going to get you some fiberglass strips. Got some Evercoat. I just cut some strips out like this. And you want to put this fiberglass over the seam. Fiberglass mat has dried. I put 2 layers of fiberglass mat on it. What I'm finna do now, I'm finna take my DA. I got some 60 grit on it. I'm just finna knock it down some for my fiberglass filler. Once you get your fiberglass mat knocked down and blown off, you want to go ahead and get you some fiberglass filler. I'm using this short strand fiberglass filler by 3M. I'm going to go ahead and mix it up and wipe it on. I went on and spread the fiberglass filler, short strand fiberglass filler. I kind of carried it on back here some so I can try to make that transition real smooth. Finna go ahead and knock this down. Then I'll be ready for some body filler. As you can see, I done knocked the fiberglass filler down. I knocked it down with 60 grit on the DA. Now it's time for some regular body filler. About to use this Evercoat filler. I'm just gonna mix some on my onion board and spread it over the fiberglass filler. Try to smooth it on out. You can see all the low areas. Like here, it's low, low. This filler here gonna fill them low areas up. Lightweight body filler done been applied. Once this dry, I'm gonna grab my DA again. I'm gonna put some 1/8 on it. I'm just gonna knock it down. Then I'm gonna come back with the straight line air sander. And I'm gonna get it level. Once I get it pretty much level, I'm gonna grab my hand sander, my inline hand sander. This is 17 inches. Then I'm gonna do it by hand. I'm gonna sand it by hand. I got the roof blocked and ready to be shot with the primer. I seen a few more low spots, but like here, I ain't gonna worry about that yet. I'm gonna wait till I prime it and I'm gonna block it again. I got it primed up. It looked pretty good for off. But you can't really see the imperfections in the camera. Let me show you, see if I can focus on the pinholes. See there, imperfections and pinholes. Up in here. Up in here. But what I'm finna do now, I'm finna get some black spray paint and I'm finna spray a layer of guide coat on it. So when I block it, it'll show me all my low spots and my imperfections. 17-inch inline sanding block. I got some 120 on it. But let me show you what the guide coat do. It show you all your low spots. Like the dark areas here. Them low. You couldn't really tell just by looking at the primer. See here? All this here got to come down. Low spot. That's a low spot here. That's a pretty big low spot there. So I'm going to have to knock all this down and try to get everything like this here. The light primer. Just got through finished blocking the roof with the 120. You can see the low spots and the high spots. This a high spot. This a low spot where you see the guide coat. All these spots here was high, where it reached back down into the filler when I was blocking it. I got a big low spot here. The biggest low spot is here. Got another low spot here. But what I'm finna do, I'm finna mix up some polyester glazing putty. And I'm gonna go ahead and fill my low spots with it. Then I'm gonna block that back down. Then I'll be ready to shoot my final round of primer. I got the polyester glazing putty knocked down to a smooth surface. It might not look like it, but it is. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot my final round of primer. I'm about to go ahead and mount up the sunroof into the frame. I was just making sure my drains weren't stopped up. You got 4 drains, 2 in the back and 2 in the front. A lot of times when your sunroof leaking, these lines stopped up and the water just overflowing. But you got 4 drain lines. They connect right here. One right here and one right there, same on the other side. But I'm gonna go ahead and mount it up so I can know where to position my lines. I got the roof mounted up to the frame. Now let's get ready to run the drain lines. Let me take you inside, show you everything what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a 1/2-inch drill bit. That's what I got here on the drill. Got the drain lines. Then I got some little fittings that I'm gonna put at the end. Once I drill the hole, I'm gonna cap it off with this to keep the line from pulling back up out the hole. And this is what it is here. paid $1.79 a piece for them at Lowe's. And you're gonna also need some sealant. You could use Flex Seal, but I'm gonna use this here. It's flexible, waterproof. Okay, let's go back out there. I'm gonna show you where you need to drill the holes for the drain lines. Driver's side drain line, I just connected it. Then I ran it on the side of the dash down through there. And it came out up under the dash. But I had went on and drilled the hole. You might can see it through there. You see the light. Hold up, let me see. You can see it better right there. That's the hole that I'm going through. But I drilled it from this side. I just pulled this out and stuck my drill and drilled it. But I'm going through that hole right there. I'm gonna go ahead and fish it through there. Then I'm gonna go on the other side and show you. Give you a better idea where the drain line coming out at. This the driver's side fender. Here's the drain line. I went on and put some of that sealant on it. But that's the drain line. I think I'm gonna leave it just hanging out like that. I was gonna put this fitting on it, but I think it'll be okay with it just hanging out. Same thing on the passenger side. But you can see the hole a lot better on this side because I went on and took the box out and this side piece on out. But you can see the hole right there. Let me take you outside and show it to you. There you go. On these back drain lines, I got a runner along the side. I went on and drilled the hole so I can push that clamp into it, just to hold it in place. Then I got it running down the C-puller into the trunk. But I got the hole running, coming out the bottom side. You can see it there. I went on to spray some primer around it. Let me take you in the trunk and show you. See the hole is coming out the top of the fender well in the trunk. So I'm gonna run the drain line down into that hole. Let me go ahead and do that. I got it ran down through the hole. Let me show you the bottom side. That's the bottom side. I just got to seal around it, then I'll be good. The same process on this side. Okay, let's go ahead and do the wiring. The wiring is pretty simple, but you got a quick connect here, and you got 6 wires running from it. These 3 here is for the switch, the blue, orange, and brown. Then you got a red for the hot wire, yellow for the ignition, and black for the ground. You run your red, your hot wire to your, it's an orange and brown wire. On this connector here, you run it to the orange wire. Then you run your ground wire to the black wire. It's a gray and black wire side by side. You run it to the black wire. Then you run your ignition wire, the yellow wire, to the yellow wire. It's 2 yellow wires side by side. You run it to that. Because you don't want your sunroof to work without your ignition being on. So you run it to your ignition wire. Let me show you. See, the ignition is off and it shouldn't work. Let me turn the ignition on. Now everything should work. It's just that simple. I'm finna go ahead and run everything the correct way, tuck everything away. I'm gonna splice them to these wires here. Then I'll be good to go.
understand.